Hey, what's up? It's Nathan Williams with Crazy Marketing. Now this video right here is a compilation of several videos that help make up the course that you're taking right now. Now to help you navigate through everything, I've provided timestamps down below in the description, so I recommend going, check out those timestamps, watching what's relevant to you. Let's get into it. Alright, so obviously if we're going to be running YouTube ads, we need an account on YouTube and a channel on YouTube. So that's what we're going to do in this video, just set up a simple YouTube channel. More than likely you already have one and you can definitely just use that, and I'll just watch this video at 2x speed or even faster, just in case I cover something that you might have missed or something like that. So anyway, we're going to start it from scratch essentially. Now, you get a YouTube account if you have a Google account, so you need a Google account first in order to get a YouTube account. So if you don't have that, go to Google and get an account, but that should, you probably have that. Anyway, let's go in here, and I'm going to go to settings here, and I'm going to go ahead and add or manage my channels because I want to make a new one. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new channel, and I'm just going to call it YouTube course. And so just like that, I have a brand new channel. Let me come up here to customize channel real quick, and we'll go through a couple options. So of course we can go ahead and pretty up our channel. So if you're actually building a channel that you want people to come to, subscribe to, etc., then you want to take some time here and make sure that it looks nice, right? But if you're just creating an account, a channel just to run ads on, it probably doesn't really matter how it looks. But anyway, we'll go through a couple processes or steps. So we can go ahead and pick a cool little image here. Shows us what it'll look like on the different devices. We can adjust the crop, all self-explanatory stuff. We can go ahead and change our icon, and the icon is linked to our brand account. So we'll go ahead and come over here to our brand account, and I can go ahead and pick a picture real quick. And here we go, and done. And so that's cool. Let's go back to YouTube real quick. We'll go ahead and refresh it. Now sometimes it takes a little while for your icon here to change, but it went quickly there. All right, so that worked. Just a couple other options. We could go ahead and click this gear icon here. We have different privacy settings, so keep all my subscriptions private and yada, yada, yada. So you can go on through here, pick anything that's applicable to you and save it. All right, so now we've got a couple other tabs here, and these will kind of populate as you upload videos, create playlists, etc. But what you probably want to do is come over to this About area, and you want to go ahead and add a channel description. So the channel description, this helps you rank for like SEO type stuff. So if somebody comes up here and searches for something, then it does look at your channel description. So you want to make sure that you do fill this out and that it includes like keywords or things like that that people would be, find you with. So we'll just say YouTube course. So of course you want to make something longer, more detailed, etc. You could also go ahead and add like business inquiries information. You could add your location. You could also add links. So this is kind of handy. So if you want to link to like your website, so let me do, and you could throw in a link to your Facebook page or whatever else you might want to link to. But you'll notice that it popped up here. So, that's a good way to, get people back to your website and all that type of stuff. So anyway, I recommend going to this About section and filling that information out. And then you can come in here and kind of customize your channel. So you can go ahead and, select what video you want people to see when they come in, or what channels or what playlists, and you could change the horizontal row or vertical list, and you could customize what people are seeing when they come to your channel. And you can add a couple different sections. And so again, if you're making a real YouTube channel, you want to go through all these steps here, play around with it, get it looking the way you want it to look, and so on. And then if you have different channels as well, you can go ahead and link to them right here. So add channels, and I got Crazy Marketing TV, and add, and done. So boom, just like that, you can connect your various channels together so people can easily, find you in different locations. So that's really it for this video. Main thing is I wanted to show you this About area because you don't usually see it, or it's kind of hidden, and I wanted to point it out to you real quick. But pretty much everything else is pretty self-explanatory, and so just go ahead and click around to get everything the way you want it. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. Real quick, I have a special offer that I want to present to you where you can get a digital copy of my book as well as an audio copy. Plus, I'm giving away 20 pre-written emails that make your email writing a piece of cake. And finally, I have a 7-figure funnel. It's the first funnel that I built that generated over 7 figures for a small business, and it includes training on how to actually set up the funnel. If you're interested in that, plus several other bonuses, link in the description down below, or there'll be a link in the little box up above here. So if you're interested, check it out. Back to the training. In this video, we're going to talk about the YouTube Studio, so let's get into it. So come up here to your icon up here, and then you go to YouTube Studio, and it used to be Creator Studio, but they changed it. So anyway, a lot of this is self-explanatory, and since we don't have any videos uploaded or anything like that, it's going to be pretty empty. So, but this is our dashboard, and of course you'll see information here once you have videos and people commenting and all that stuff. So, this is an overview of your account. Come in here to videos. Of course, this is where all your videos are, and you can go ahead and, make changes to them, delete them, make them private, make them public, all that type of stuff, monetize them if you have monetization turned on, and so on. So, of course, videos in there, playlists. So this is where you could go ahead and create a new playlist of videos. So if you're building a channel and you have videos that are similar, like for my channel, I have, Facebook ads playlist, I have a ClickFunnels playlist, a YouTube ads playlist, where I have all my relevant videos in a playlist, right? So something you want to do, simple self-explanatory stuff. Analytics, so of course this is where all your analytics come in, and you can view what's going on. So you can see reach and engagement and audience and all that type of information. A lot of great details can be found in here once you have people viewing your videos. All right, coming on down, we got comments, and right here that breaks down all the comments that people are leaving, so you can come in here and answer them. Makes it really nice and easy, and so on. Subtitles, so I recommend on ads having a subtitles transcript generated, so that way people could watch your ads without actually having audio on. So we'll talk some more about subtitles when we upload a video. Monetization, so if you have monetization turned on, you can see how much money you're making. Audio library, so what's kind of cool about YouTube is they give you a bunch of free audio that you can go ahead and use in your videos. So that if you need free music or sound effects, this is where you can go and get some. So this is where I always go when I need some audio somewhere, because it's free, and a lot of it's royalty free. Like, you don't even have to cite the source. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, you can go ahead and check this out if you're interested and need music. But what I really want to focus on is the settings down here. You want to make sure that this is set up and configured properly. So we got general, so of course, I guess select your dollar amount. But channel information, so here, this is where we go ahead and, add some more keywords. Again, if you're trying to get organic traffic to your YouTube channel, then you want to go ahead and take the time to enter in keywords that are relevant. YouTube training, YouTube course. All right, cool. Country, go ahead and select the appropriate country. Let's see. And then we could go ahead and customize our channel again. So that was like what we did in the last video. Advanced settings, so over here we want to go ahead and select what's relevant to us. So if you have a channel for kids or a channel not for kids, go ahead and select these options, or you could go ahead and leave it as the default. You'll review the setting for every video, so whatever makes sense here. We're going to come back to Google Ads account linking. This is critical, and I'm going to have a separate video on linking the account, because of course if you don't have your YouTube account linked to your ads account, then stuff isn't going to work well. So anyway, we'll come back in a separate video. Subscriber count, up to you. Advanced channel settings, we looked at this on the previous video. YouTube account, hide or delete or hide channel. And then we get down to advertisements here, and there's this checkbox here that says disable interest-based ads. Do not check this box. Do not check this box. Okay? What this box does, you can read this first sentence or two, but what we're concerned about is, in addition, earned action reports and remarketing lists will stop working for your channel. So if you don't want to do remarketing or retargeting, Google calls it remarketing to be different or whatever. So remarketing, retargeting, same thing. If you don't want to do retargeting, then you can check this box. But assuming you're running ads, you're going to want to be retargeting or remarketing to individuals. So do not check this box, okay? I want to make that crystal clear. In the first edition of this course, I didn't make this clear, and a lot of people had questions, and I had to make a new video. So anyway, making it clear this time, do not check this box. Okay, branding over here. So we can go ahead and add a watermark to our videos here. So of course you could go ahead and add a branded image, and that way it shows up on all your videos. Or one little strategy or hack or tactic or whatever you want to call it is to upload a subscribe image right here. So that way, maybe it generates a few more additional subscribers to your channel. I don't know how effective it is. I have not tested how many more subscribers I get with the button on or the watermark on or off or anything like that. But if you don't want to stick your logo down here, maybe the subscribe option works. Who knows? And of course, you can go ahead and run it for the entire video. So, it's always reminding people to subscribe. And no matter what icon you use down here, whether it's like a logo for your business or the subscribe icon, if somebody clicks on it, it's going to ask them to subscribe to the channel. So this is a subscribe to channel thing, no matter what it looks like. So that's why I put it as the subscribe image, so that way people see it. Anyway, feature eligibility. So this is important stuff right here. We want to make sure that we have as many features turned on and activated as humanly possible, because it gives us more options and more flexibility and all that other type of stuff. So to do it, let's come over to status and features, and we can see what all we have going on here. So these are what we have access to. So uploading, monetization, live streaming, embed live streams, longer videos, unlisted and private videos, custom thumbnails, external annotations, custom URL, content ID appeals, channel memberships. So you notice that we're ineligible, or we haven't enabled most things. So we want to go ahead and activate as much as possible, like this longer video option. And to do it, what we need to do is go ahead and verify our phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in real quick. And so there we go. Congrats, your YouTube account is now verified. So cool. We just had to verify our phone number. Let me go ahead and refresh this real quick. So now, I don't know if you noticed, but that box up there went from like a blue box to now it says verified. I got a little check mark here, and some more options came. I can do longer videos now. I'm going to go ahead and enable live streaming, even though I'm not going to live stream anytime soon, just in case I want to someday. You notice that it says it takes 24 hours to get your account going. So if I randomly felt like live streaming someday, I didn't want to wait 24 hours. Well, now I don't have to, because I went ahead and I enabled it when I first set up my account, right? So anyway, over time, as your channel grows and everything, you'll have more options you can go ahead and activate. For example, a custom URL could be handy, monetization is handy, and so on. So if you want to learn more about each option, you can click on whatever links here, or like learn more here, and so on. So point is, you want to turn on as many things as you can so you have it in case you need it. All right, let's come back out of here and let's go to upload defaults now. So if you want to set up some basic defaults, you could go ahead and do that here. What I tend to do is I add my tags. So I add my website information. So I have like crazyimarketing.com and crazyimarketing. So basically, all of my videos that I upload to YouTube, I have these three tags already pre-set up, pre-established on my video, so I don't have to type them again. And if you have like footer information, like sponsors, you could throw in whatever information down here that you want, so that way you're not, having to type it out every single time you make a new video, and so on. So self-explanatory. Advanced settings, you can go ahead and change these to suit your needs. I'll just leave them at the defaults. Permissions, so if you want to give other people access to your account, you can go ahead and do that here in the permissions area. And community, if you want to go ahead and set up a community. I've not done this before, but I think it's pretty, simple, self-explanatory, and so on. So anyway, let's just go ahead and save. And so that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to give you an overview of the YouTube Studio and also talk to you about these settings. Make sure you got everything set up correctly, so that way you don't run into any issues in the future. In this video, we're going to go ahead and set up a Google Ads account. Now, if you didn't know already, Google owns YouTube, so that's why we set up a Google Ads account to run ads on YouTube. So that's why we're over here setting this stuff up. So anyway, it's really simple to go ahead and do it. You can go ahead and start now. And I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in and create another account within my account. So let's go through this process real quick. Now mine likely looks a little different than yours because I have an MCC account, which means that I can have client accounts within my Google Ads account. But once I've created my Google Ads account, it'll look the same and function the same as your account. So anyway, I'm going to come over here to accounts, and I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new account, create an account, and I'm going to call it YouTube course. And then for type here, we have Google Ads account or Smart Campaign account. You want a Google Ads account. Smart Campaign is for like small businesses and it makes things simple, but you don't want that. You want a Google Ads account, okay? So select that option. Country, select what's relevant. Time zone, select what is relevant to you. Currency, again, relevant to you. If you want to add other users, you can go ahead and do that. Save and continue. And then you go ahead and set up your billing information. And boom, just like that, you have a Google Ads account. Now, of course, we're going to be creating campaigns, ad groups, ads, all that stuff in here. So a lot of stuff's going to start happening in here, but this is what it looks like to get started, and that's it for this video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and set up a Google Analytics account, and the reason we're going to do this is because it helps us track conversions, and we can track everything that's going on with our advertising efforts. So it's important, of course, to track everything, otherwise, how do you know it's working? So that's why we're going to set up a Google Analytics account. But real quick, I put this little thing together so you can hopefully kind of keep things separate in your mind. So in Google Ads, we're obviously going to use it to create ads. That's what it's there for. And we can also create simple audiences in Google Ads. So when we get to the audiences section and we're talking about audiences and targeting and stuff like that, we'll talk more about it, but I just want to give you an overview real quick. So Google Ads has ads and simple audiences. And then we use Google Analytics for goals and conversions, as well as just general tracking on how things are performing. And we also we can also create advanced audiences within Google Analytics as well. And again, I'll talk more about audiences later on, but I just want to put this stuff in front of you early on so you kind of see where we're going with things. All right, so let's go over and set up a Google Analytics account, and more than likely you have one already, but I'm going to set one up from scratch and show you all the options and all that type of stuff so you can follow along and modify yours if you need to. All right, so I'm going to create a brand new account. I'll come down here to admin, create an account, and I'll call it YouTube course. And for account data sharing settings, we want to leave all this stuff checked. We want to make sure Google can talk to Google, right? Because we're basically connecting Google Analytics, Google Ads, and YouTube. We're connecting those three platforms together, and we want them to all talk to each other so we get all the information we could possibly get. All right, so next. Alrighty, so of course, as soon as I launched my course, Google launched Google Analytics 4. So you'll probably see a screen that looks like this. And I'm going to walk you through how to set this up properly so you can continue following along with the rest of the course without any issues. So it's asking us for our property name, and I'm just going to call this YouTube course as well. And then go ahead and select your appropriate time zone and all that type of stuff. So New York time for me. Select your appropriate currency. And then you want to go ahead and do show advanced options here. And it'll ask you if you want to create a universal analytics property, and you do. So this is how I created the course, was with using the universal analytics property. And so that's what you want to go ahead and create so you can easily follow along with the course. Now, if you're familiar with Google Analytics and you want to use GA4, by all means, go for it. But if you want to follow along with what I'm doing in the course, you want to go ahead and activate Google Analytics property. So flip that little switch there. And then it's going to ask you some information like your website. So let me throw that in there real quick. And then it asks us a couple of questions here. So create both a Google Analytics 4 and a Universal Analytics property, and then enable enhanced measurement and all this stuff. What we want to go ahead and do is just skip down here to create a Universal Analytics property only. Okay, that's the one we want, is Universal Analytics only. Later on, if you want to, you can always upgrade to Google Analytics 4 and mess with it at your heart's content. But for the purposes of this course, Universal Analytics property only is what we want. And so then you want to go ahead and hit next. And then you go ahead and select the information about your business, whatever is relevant. And then you hit create. And it'll give you some notifications and all this other stuff. Go ahead and read through them, accept them, yada yada. And so now we're back on track, so back to the video. And then I'm going to come back out a little bit and we're going to go through some of these settings together so that way we're all on the same page. So first things first, make sure you're in the right account. So I'm in my YouTube course account, so that's good. And then we have properties within our account. So I only have the one property that I just created, but if you want to create multiple properties, you could go ahead and do that as well. And then we have views, and so we'll wind up creating some different views to analyze our information. But let's start with property here and go through all these options here. So here's all the property settings. If you want to change something, you could go ahead and change something. And come on down here. I'll try and point out the important options. So we want to go ahead and turn on our demographics and interest reports because we're advertising and we want to track that type of stuff. In-page analytics, we want to go ahead and turn that on as well. Come on down here. A search console. So this is important to go ahead and configure. You go adjust search console, and then basically by linking your analytics property to your search console accounts, search console can import information. Again, it's just another option, opportunity for you to integrate with other Google platforms. And so it's something you want to go ahead and do, but we'll keep moving forward. I'm not going to do it now because this is for demonstration purposes, but we want to go ahead and, if you're doing it in real life, go ahead and connect that. Make sure this is checked on as well, and we'll go ahead and hit save. And then we'll come on down to property user management. So if you want to add people to your account, you could go ahead and do that. Pretty simple. Tracking info, so tracking code. So this is the code that we're going to be installing places, or part of the code. We might just be using our tracking ID as well. And we'll definitely cover this in follow-on videos. But moving on down, we got data collection. Let's go ahead and turn on our remarketing and advertising reporting features and save that. And then data retention. And going to leave the default settings here, user ID. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it turned off now. It's kind of complicated. It's like an advanced thing and it doesn't really impact what we're doing here. Session settings, so you can adjust that if you want to. That's basically how long somebody's on your properties. Organic search sources, so you can mess with that. Referral exclusion list, we're going to come back to it. We're going to need to do it for cross-domain tracking, so you might need to do it or you might not, but we'll cover that in a separate video. Search term exclusion list, so you can go ahead and do that. We don't need to do it for this option. Data deletion. And then we have product linking, which we're going to come back to in a separate video, so we're good here. Let's come up to views now, and I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new view. And I'm going to call it master. So you can call it whatever you want, default, master, whatever. It's just my default view. And I'm going to go ahead and select the appropriate time zone and create view. And now we're going to go through some of these settings. So view settings real quick. Come on down here and look at what's going on. Bot filtering is the option you want to go ahead and check here. Is exclude all hits from known bots and spiders. You don't want bots throwing off your analytics reporting, right? So I'd recommend checking that box. And if you have site search tracking you want to go ahead and keep track of, you could go ahead and turn that on here and so on. So we'll go ahead and save it. View user management. So if you want to give people access to a view, you could do that as well. So you could give people access to property, and if they have access to your property, they have access to your views, or you could just give them access to your view, right? Makes some sense. Then we have goals here, and we're going to be creating goals later on, so we'll get into goals because these are our conversions, right? So we want to set up our goal conversion tracking within Google Analytics, and then we share that information with Google Ads, and that's how we can go about optimizing our campaigns and all that other type of stuff. So we'll come back to goals. We got to set those things up. Content grouping, I don't even know what this does, so I'm going to move on. Filters. We'll set up a filter in a few minutes here, or in a follow-on video. Basically, it just changes how your view handles the traffic coming into it. Channel settings, and I'm going to leave the default settings in here. Manage brand terms, I'm going to leave the default, I'm going to leave it alone. You can play with it later on. It's not important for what we're doing here. This is not a Google Analytics course. We're just getting the basics set up so that way you can track conversions and all that type of stuff. That's our goal. All right, e-commerce setup. I recommend turning this on if you have anything like e-commerce related, like a Shopify store or a lot of shopping cart platforms like Thrivecart and Samcart. They use Google Analytics e-commerce tracking. So I recommend turning this on if you have a cart platform that does it. So we'll turn that on. Calculated metrics. So if you have custom metrics you want to go ahead and configure, you can do that here. And then we get into segments and annotations and a bunch of other stuff. We're not going to worry about it because it's beyond the scope of this video. And at this point, I think I've covered everything I want to cover between the property settings as well as the view settings. So we'll end the video here. All right, in the last few videos, we went ahead and set up a YouTube account, a Google Ads account, and a Google Analytics account. And now what we want to go ahead and do is connect them all together so they can all talk to each other and see everything. And that way we can track everything and do what we need to do. And so we'll start in our YouTube account and start getting things connected. So we'll come over to settings here, and then we want to go to channel and advanced settings and scroll on down here and go to advanced channel settings. So click into here. And we'll come on down here. Again, I already discussed this in a previous video, but you want to make sure that this box is not checked. Do not check this box. All right, moving on down here, we have AdWords account linking. So it used to be called AdWords, now it's called Google Ads. They need to update their phrasing here. Anyway, we'll go ahead and link an AdWords account. And it says how to do it. So we come over here, and I'm going to come over to my account, and I click this little question mark option here. And since my Google Ads account is a MCC account, which means I can have client accounts inside of it, I have two different account numbers. So my manager account number is this one, but my customer one is this one. So I'm going to select my customer account because that's the one that's important to me. So if you have an MCC account like me, then use your customer ID information, but if you just have a single Google Ads account, then use whatever information's here, okay? So whatever number's there, go ahead, grab it, and come back over to YouTube and paste it on in there, and then we can go ahead and assign a name to it, so YouTube course. And you want to go ahead and check all these options. You want all that stuff turned on because, again, we want to share as much information as possible. All right, so then we got associated website. We probably want to go ahead and set this up as well since we're here. So go ahead and throw your website in here, and you can go ahead and hit add. And you may need to go through the process of verifying it. So you can click this little verify link to figure out what that means. But basically, it means you need to come over and set up your search console and set that up, and then you can go ahead and verify it. So it's pretty simple stuff. You just follow the steps that they have there. But if you have questions about it, don't hesitate to ask me. I'm here to help you. All right, moving on down here, channel recommendations, subscriber counts, okay, that's all fine. But Google Analytics property tracking ID, you want to go ahead and throw that in here as well. So let's come over here, we'll go to property settings, and we'll grab our tracking ID right here, and then come back over, toss it in there, and click save. And so very cool, we've now done some stuff with Google Ads, and we've also done some stuff with Google Analytics. Now let's go over to Google Ads and see what's going on in here. Let's go to tools and settings, and then we want to go to linked accounts right here. And let's scroll on down here to YouTube and hit details. And so now I have a link request, and basically this was triggered when I was in YouTube and I added my ID information. So it basically sent an invite to my account. Let's go ahead and view the request. I want to select all these options and approve it. So that should be good like that. Let's come back out of here. I also want to go ahead and link to my Google Analytics account as well. So let's go ahead and go to details real quick. And for some reason, my new analytics property is not popping up in here. So let's go another way in. So we'll go through Google Analytics first. So we'll come over here, and then we'll go to Google Ads linking from our analytics account and make the connection this way. So there's my account right here. And I'll go ahead and click that option and then continue. And then I want to go ahead and select which views and information I want to send over. So I want to send over my master view that we set up in a previous video. And then I'll go ahead and link accounts. And then I want to go ahead and click done down here. And there we go. So now my Google Ads account is linked to my Google Analytics account. And let me go back to my Google Ads account real quick just to see if it's now connected. Maybe things have happened. Let me come in here and refresh, and let's see if something's changed. And I'll come up to details. And here we go. We are now connected. So awesome. That worked well. And now there's this Google optimized sharing option right here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. It doesn't do anything unless you use it, but it's good to just have it turned on because it's kind of collecting extra information. And then if you do want to play with it someday, well, then you already have that information. So it's just like previously when we tried to enable as many features as we could on YouTube just so you have them when you want them or you might need them someday. Same thing here. We just want to make sure everything that we could possibly ever want, we have it turned on and active. So we're collecting any information we might need. And so there we have it. We've gone ahead and we've connected our YouTube account to our Google Ads account as well as our Google Analytics account. We've connected our Google Analytics account to our Google Ads account, and we've connected our Google Ads accounts to our Google Analytics account and our YouTube account. And so everything is connected all together and sharing information and all that type of stuff. And that's it for this video. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed the training. Now I have a quick special offer for you. So if you want a digital copy as well as an audio copy of my book here, as well as 20 pre-written emails to make your email copywriting a piece of cake. And I also have a 7-figure funnel. It's the first funnel that I built that generated over 7 figures of revenue for a small business. And the funnel includes a course on how to set it up and also how to actually sell that funnel to small businesses. So if you're interested in starting a digital marketing agency, that course and that funnel are an ideal option for you. And there's a bunch of other benefits and stuff, bonuses and stuff. Anyway, link in the description down below, or there's going to be a little button probably up here in the video if you're interested in checking it out. Yeah, just check it out if you're interested. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of the day.